Christmas dinner always looked better than it felt. The table was crowded with polished cutlery, dishes arranged with ceremonial precision, glasses catching warm light from the chandelier. From the outside, it could have passed for comfort, tradition, family cohesion. From the inside, it felt like a performance everyone had memorized too well. My sister thrived in that environment. She sat at the head of the table, posture relaxed, voice effortlessly dominant. Not loud, she never needed to be loud. Authority, when practiced long enough, becomes quiet. You know, she said, swirling her wine, some people romanticize independence. No one responded. Conversations with her rarely required participation. She turned slightly toward me. But bravery. A faint smile. That's different. I had learned over the years that tone mattered more than words. Her voice carried that familiar mix of amusement and dismissal, the sound of someone already convinced of the outcome. "Go ahead," she said. "If you're so brave, just leave." A few heads lifted. Forks paused mid-air. She leaned back. "You wouldn't survive a week without us." The sentence floated there, strangely weightless. There was no shouting, no accusation. No immediate defense rising in my throat, just an unexpected stillness, as if something inside me had finally grown tired of reacting. For years, every decision of mine had passed through the invisible filter of the family's support system. Their phrasing, not mine. Where I worked, where I lived, even the house, technically mine, practically theirs. Everything framed as protection. Everything structured as dependence. I looked around the table, familiar faces, familiar expectations. No hostility, no overt cruelty. Just the quiet certainty that I existed within boundaries drawn long ago. Something about that certainty no longer felt stable. Without speaking, I reached into my pocket. The keys made a small, ordinary sound when I placed them on the table. Metal against wood. It was not dramatic. That was precisely why it unsettled everyone. My sister's smile faltered. "What is this supposed to mean?" I shrugged lightly. No speech. No emotional declaration. No rehearsed monologue about self-respect or identity. Real life rarely offers dialogue that polished. "It means," I said, "you don't need to worry about me surviving." Silence settled heavily now. No longer comfortable. My brother shifted in his chair. "Don't be ridiculous. It's Christmas. You're overreacting." Predictable responses, delivered with genuine confusion. In their version of reality, nothing significant had happened. Words had been exchanged. That was all. But something had shifted, and they felt it. My sister's voice hardened slightly. "You're being childish, possibly." Still, I stood. No chair-scraping theatrics. No slammed doors. Just movement. Calm, deliberate, almost procedural. No one stopped me. People rarely do when they assume you'll return. Outside, the cold air hit with startling clarity. The night carried that strange holiday contrast, decorated windows glowing warmly, streets quiet, the world briefly softened by tradition. My phone began vibrating before I reached the car. I did not answer. By morning, the vibrations had become relentless. Missed calls stacked in dense clusters. Messages arriving with escalating urgency. "Call me. Pick up, we need to talk." "This isn't funny." The tone had changed. Not anger, panic. At first, I assumed it was emotional overreaction. Families, after all, are experts at transforming small disruptions into crises. Then my brother's name flashed again. I answered. "What?" "You need to come back." His voice lacked its usual steadiness. "There's a problem." "With what?" "With everything." That word again. Everything. Over the next hour, fragments emerged. Accounts frozen. Access denied. Payments failing. My quiet existence within the family structure, it turned out, had not been as passive as everyone believed. The house, the legal ownership, the financial routing, the administrative details no one paid attention to, had functioned as a central pillar in their carefully balanced arrangement. Not fraud. Not crime. Just a network of conveniences built on assumptions. Assumptions that I would remain. Assumptions that my role was permanent. By midday, the umpire, as my sister liked to call it jokingly, had begun to buckle under its own architecture. I sat in my apartment, phone buzzing endlessly beside me. 66 missed calls. The number felt surreal, almost comedic in isolation. But there was nothing funny in the voices now filling my voicemail. Not commands, requests. Not certainty, strain. When I finally returned to the house, the atmosphere had transformed completely. No polished dominance. No amused superiority, only tension. My sister stood in the living room, arms crossed too tightly. You knew this would happen. I understood the structure. That's manipulation. Is it? Her jaw tightened. For the first time in years, there was no rhetorical advantage in her posture. No conversational high ground, just discomfort. Power had not exploded, it had quietly relocated. I wasn't trying to collapse anything, I said. Then why leave? The question lingered between accusation and something more fragile. Because staying wasn't neutral. Silence again. Different this time. No victory filled the room. No satisfaction. Only the uneasy recognition that independence, once exercised, reshapes more than one life. Some fractures are not loud. Some endings do not announce themselves. By evening, the house looked exactly as it always had. Warm lighting, carefully arranged furniture. Christmas decorations still glowing. Yet the balance was gone, and everyone could feel it.